This is cool. We've got Tahmineh Dehbozorgi here. She grew up in Iran. She's a law student at the George Washington University in Washington, D.C., and studying law is pretty cool in America. I wonder what kind of perspective you have, given your connection to Iran, about what's going on in Israel and Iran's involvement, and also how you view the Palestinians and who's to blame, that kind of debate that's going on in this country right now, Tahmineh.
Well, this has been a very complicated and controversial issue, especially in law schools. And I've seen students at George Washington University holding vigils, celebrating the atrocities of Hamas against Israelis. And we've seen student groups at NYU Law School, Harvard Law School, Berkeley Law School, coming out with statements explicitly saying that Israelis deserved to be killed. And I find that very, very disturbing, because we saw what happened. This is not really we know what happened. Hamas attacked Israel. They killed hundreds of innocent men and women and children. And there is absolutely no gray area here. But what is very disturbing more than all of this is that the school administrators did not condemn Hamas. They actually were citing concerns about spreading Islamophobia on college campuses. That's why they didn't really call out the atrocity of Hamas.
But hold on a second before we get to the administration. What are your thoughts about the students and where they get this feeling that they have to be on that side of the equation? What compels them in the direction of supporting Hamas and doing it so in such absolute terms, like all those groups at Harvard who collaborated on that letter and said that basically it was 100% Israel's fault? How do they get that in their heads, do you think?
I think a lot of it comes from not teaching history properly to students, and the other side of it is the chilled speech on campuses as well, where because the other side has been silenced so much, like a lot of students like myself, that we actually share our experiences living in the Middle East and seeing the actual horrors of terror, like Islamic terrorism. We get shut down because they tell us you're spreading Islamophobia, or what you're saying is just your experience. It doesn't apply, although it's really not about that. Well, we've seen it firsthand, but the environment on campus has really shut down the other side. The administrators have not been allowing many Jewish students to speak up as well in the past. This is just a trend that has been going on historically. There's also another component that, do they handpick students that they admit in the first place? I don't know how accurate it is. We see that on a lot of campuses, there's a very small group of students that hold, let's say, conservative values, and majority of students hold very extreme left-leaning values. So do the professors. So there's not much dialogue going on even our academia.
Yeah,
so
I assume that conservative students just keep their mouths shut because they don't want to risk being canceled or something.
And I think that goes to the problem that the speech has been so chilled that one side is being fearful for their reputation because the other side has been so much empowered by professors, by campus administrators, that's the support that conservative students just don't have. They don't have the allies to protect them. So many of them feel like they don't have anyone to, if they say something and if the other side comes after them, they don't have anywhere to go.
Tahmineh, have you faced any of that yourself, that you can't speak freely, or that you face harassment if you do?
Well, I still speak my mind because I lived under a regime that constantly tried to shut dissent.
Yes, but I want to know how much it feels like you're back in that regime. Being here in America, I really value this freedom that I have. This is something that was taken away from me in my home country, and I really think I'm not scared of
the other side trying to threaten me or can they?
But are they? But do you feel like we're losing it? Do you feel like we're heading in that, down that same slope that Iran went down?
Well, I think that is a little. I hate to say it, but I think we are seeing the signs, especially on college campuses, and that's how it started. Even in Iran, it started on college campuses where, like, the Marxist groups started taking over the student body, and all of the students were suddenly extremely supportive of the Bolshevik revolution, and that actually ended up becoming like a populist revolutionary movement. In America, thankfully, we have protections of the Constitution. We have public universities that really cannot restrict student speech. I personally have had really great professors in my life that have really encouraged my critical thinking, especially in law school. I think.
So you haven't faced backlash or an oppressive atmosphere or DEI administrators who are making sure that there's not a free exchange of ideas, any of the stuff we read about?
Well, actually, one time we were trying to pass pocket constitutions on a college campus. This actually happened to a friend of mine. And then the campus administrator came and pretty much threatened to remove him from a public campus, and that actually ended up being a lawsuit. And that was something that really got me involved and excited about this whole thing. But I have in the past been on TV networks. I have defended the freedom of expression on campuses. One example was there was a petition trying to remove Justice.
Actually, Tahmineh, we just have 30 seconds left, so finish that thought quickly, and then we've got to wrap.
It has happened to me, especially at GW Law, but nevertheless, I keep doing what I'm doing because I think it's very valuable to still speak and not be shut down, because that's what they want. They want to threaten us. They want to intimidate us, and I do not want to see that happen.
Tahmineh Dehbozorgi is a student at George Washington Law School and grew up in Iran, so has a lot of experience there. Thanks for taking the time to share and being willing to share your experiences. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Todd. I appreciate it.
All right, Tahmineh. How cool is that? 860-522